First of all, to my colleague on the left, he said he understood the intent of this legislation. Well, you are actually misrepresenting the intent. This is not about students. This is about money coming from nations that are a national security threat to us. This bill establishes a zero-tolerance policy toward nations that pose a national security threat, such as China and Iran. It requires full transparency if these adversarial nations contribute even a single dollar to any of our colleges or universities. During 2018 and 2019, Joe Biden's Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania received more than $500,000 from a group with ties to the Communist Party of China. The House Oversight Committee also discovered that the University of Pennsylvania paid Joe Biden $900,000 during this very same period. A new report yesterday by Barry Weiss also highlights that at least 200 American colleges and universities withheld information on $13 billion from foreign regimes, with much of that coming from the Middle East. Pro-Hamas groups have gained a foothold in our colleges, very sadly. And the colleges and universities raking in money from the Middle East appear to be ignoring Title VI while they allow Jewish students to be threatened and harassed on campus. H.R. 5933 holds taxpayer-funded colleges and universities accountable. It requires public disclosure of foreign gifts to individual staff and reveals foreign investments and endowments. We must protect students, universities, and our American values by eliminating foreign influence on college campuses. Again, I want to thank Congresswoman Steele and Chairwoman Fox, and I yield back.
This might be like this much off topic, but it's just as important. We're talking about how foreign governments, often hostile, have infiltrated our forms of education here in the United States. Well, oftentimes, as young as kindergarten, Confucius institutes out of communist China are coming into our American schools and acting as spies. So when your kid comes home and says they're learning Mandarin or learning about Chinese culture, you better have your antennas tuned up real high and start asking if it's a Confucius Institute, because these people are absolute spies. Absolutely. And of course, these Democrat politicians who are completely corrupt, like Joe Biden with all the money going to the Penn Biden Center. Look at what has happened on our college campuses now. Jewish students are being locked in cafeterias. Jewish students aren't feeling safe to go to school because we are giving visas, students, teachers from hostile countries like Iran, who's acting as a proxy for Hamas. Okay, that is what's happening. Wonder why anyone would go to college at this point. $70-some thousand a year to learn what? Pronouns, to allow boys and girls sports, to learn about the oppressors and the oppressed, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Honestly, your kids come out woke and hating you. College is the stupidest thing you can do. And watch out what your kids are learning if they go so they don't get brainwashed or worse, spied upon, because that's what's happening. And it's happening to our babies too.